So what is it you want to hear today when the shofar is blowing? Courage? Bravery? Humility? Hold on.
That's the second time. It happened during the Maven too.
Everything as it should be.
Good job, Rabbi.
Whatever it is we want to hear, this ancient, sacred music instrument that we've inherited, that comes from an animal and reminds us of the howling, of the wailing, of the hollowness that sometimes permeates our life, is an opportunity for us, not in jest, in depth, to connect to this moment in time when we can be part of the change we want. So I want to invite Rabbi David Klein to come up with your shofar. Your beautiful intention, your kavanah is in the program for you all to look at later. And I want to invite one of you who's really feeling ready to listen and to be present to this shofar to come help us by standing and holding the Torah for about a few minutes. If you feel ready to stand here today and help us listen deeply, we need a grown-up who's got strength, or two. Please join us here on the ark, on the bima. Ezra, you can come, but I don't think you can hold the Torah. It's kind of heavy, but come stand up here. Lisa, you into it?
Come in.
Right on. Great. Beautiful. Come on up.
You can come up too.
We can have a few of you, and you can stand here and take turns. Okay, hey. Okay. No. These are only grown-ups. All right, shofar call is now over. Thank you. Guys, please come stand all over here. David, why don't you stand over here a little bit? Hi, guys. Wow, how did this become a big party? Okay, great. All right, those of you on stage, this is not a show. Thank you, sir. This is not a party. We're here to listen to shofar. And if you're on stage, you got a role to play. To model to everybody else how to be fully listening and very present. Can you do that? Let's do that. So we're going to do a very brief introduction from the Song of Songs, Kol Dodi Hine Ze Ba, the voice of the beloved, the voice of mystery. This is what this sounds like. Kol Dodi Hine Ze Ba, Medaleg al Harim, Mekapetz al Gvaot. I invite you to close your eyes and think of what it is that you want to hear when you listen in a moment to shofar. אשרי העם יודעי תרועה, אדוני באור פניך יהלכון.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו רוח העולם, שקידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו לשמוע קול שופר.
אמן. תקיע. שברים תרועה. תקיע. תקיע. שברים תרועה. תקיע. תקיע. שברים תרועה. תקיע. whale. תקיע. שברים. תקיע. תקיע. שברים. תקיע. תקיע. שברים. תקיע. תקיע. תרועה. תקיע. תקיע. תרועה. תקיע. תקיע. תרועה. תקיעה גדולה. Amen. All right. Thank you, my friends. I invite you to step down. Thank you for helping us rise and raise the voice. Thank you, Lisa. Hey, Joyce. Friends, I ask you to please sit down. We're running about 20 minutes behind in Grand Lab Shul style. Guys, the mic is not for kids. Thank you, miss.
It's right how it was.
Thanks, Jim.
Turn it that way. There you go. And down.
So we invite you to sit down. I know the kids have brought us back. Some of the parents with the kids need to either handle them or be outside. That's okay. But we do have a few more things we want to do before we finish this morning. So thank you. And one of our joys is voicing the many voices, not just of the shofar, but the people who've been part of this journey of a community in the making. Adam and Rebecca are in that category, and we're delighted that you're going to share a bit of your story with us. And I hope the slide made it. Let's see. I think not. Darn it. You got to tell the story. Dan, tell it. Oh, Mike. Where's Mike?
Shana Tova. Hello. Well, the slide that was to be up spoke of passion, and maybe it will come up, but maybe when I talk about it in a minute. And trust me, this won't be too long. I know everyone has had a long, beautiful service together. But Adam and I wanted to come and just share a little bit about our experience with Lab Shul's Raising the Bar program, which is, as many of you know, the bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah training program. And 2 of our kids have gone through this program in the last 4 years, and our daughter, Georgia, is about to embark on it, and the bar will be raised for her next year. But I wanted to share with you why we chose Raising the Bar the first time around for our oldest, Jack. And it was really because we were very unhappy with choices out there. We tried several Hebrew schools, and when it came time to making a decision about bar mitzvah training, and we had no synagogue affiliation, we were really lost at what we would do. And luckily, Jack's closest friends were all in the same boat, and as it turned out, a few other families we knew and loved were trying to figure it out too. We had all experienced Lab Shul, at least through the high holidays at City Winery, so we knew that their approach, though maybe a little bit more untraditional and a little more too touchy-feely than we might want, would certainly be meaningful. It would not be checking off a box. Each of us was driven to raising the bar because of what we didn't want. And there's a spirit that comes with choosing something as an anti-choice. It's liberating, it's empowering, and it makes you feel particularly invested. Part of the Raising the Bar experience are monthly get-togethers for the teens to grapple with issues of social justice. Others are for the parents only. At these get-togethers, and we just had one recently with George's cohort, in each other's homes, we question passages of text, we question rituals, we do a lot of questioning, and we do a lot of drinking of wine. Jack was paired with Jar as his trainer, right there, Jar. And that was a beautiful match from the beginning, and really it was a match not just for Jack, but for our entire family. Some weeks in my living room were mostly arguing between Jar and Jack, but always their sessions were thoughtful and interesting and the antithesis of by the book. We were lucky enough to have Jar work with Ian as well, more wrestling of ideas, always discussions of current events, and always capped by recommendations of who to start in fantasy football that week. My kids see in Jar a passion for history and values and Judaism, and that this passion can sit comfortably alongside passion for football, that it can even sit comfortably alongside deep cynicism, and frankly, that it can be cool. So we are grateful to Amichai and to Lab Shul not only for offering this program, but for offering our children the opportunity to work with practicing artists and beautiful human beings for whom the training seems less of a job and more of a mission. I will say that taking the Raising the Bar route is not all perfect and without challenges. While the create your own, not just a check off the box approach is particularly appealing to us parents, it can be awkward for kids to figure out how they want to make their story their own and how they want to tell that story to all of their closest friends and family. The Raising the Bar process forces kids to explore their own identities, to step out of comfortable places, and take on the very mature job of leading. It is not clear-cut. It can get messy, which would have then segued neatly into the photograph that was supposed to be up there. And I will just tell you what it looked like. It looked kind of like what I'm seeing out there, except everyone was dressed a little fancier because it was for Ian's bar mitzvah, which took place last January. So this was a whole congregation, and there's one pretty rotund guy sitting at the very lower left in the front with all the kind of, like the special people who come to the bar mitzvah. And he is very disgruntled, and he's just shouted something out, and everyone in the audience, congregation, whatever we call this wonderful gathering of people.
He looks like this.
And I'm at the other side, and Adam's at the other side going like this, and some people are cracking up, and some people are putting their heads down. So now that you have this robust picture in your mind, this photo, was taken at Ian's bar mitzvah last January. And Ian's parsha told the story of the 10th plague and the fleeing of the Israelites from slavery. And of course, the death of Egyptian firstborn children throughout the land. Ian felt conflicted about celebrating freedom at the expense of other people's lives. Ian asked himself, and in true Lab Shul fashion, asked everyone at the bar mitzvah if they would have warned Egyptians to paint their doorposts like the Jews did to spare their lives. Ian's Uncle Ricky raised his hand, and this is what he said. "What are you doing? Why are you doing this? It's a perfectly good story. Why are you messing with our myths?" I can't believe Ian kept his composure at this point, but he did. And Ricky's son, the guy behind him, was mortified, and not that anyone was terribly shocked, because Uncle Ricky does this stuff, but we never thought we'd see it there. And there were all kinds of reactions all around him, but honestly, not mortification. We, Adam and I, were thrilled. "So glad you asked, Uncle Ricky." This is precisely the reason we choose to do it this way. The reason we choose Lab Shul, because they mess with the myths. So, in closing, Adam and I are really grateful to Lab Shul for providing opportunities for our entire family to question, to explore, to get messy, to be human. This is how we want our kids to live their entire lives, and certainly their coming-of-age lives, as sentient and passionate creatures.
Amen.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova. Beautiful. Thank you for missing. Thank you for reminding us about the messing of the myths, and sorry about the photo that we'll get up. This is just one story of the many stories that we are here to tell and to listen to. And our Raising the Bar program this year is bigger than it's been, with 3 cohorts. Naomi is running a tight ship with fantastic trainers, and we are soon thinking about embarking on the grown-up Bar Mitzvah journey. Woo-hoo! For those who want to think about what does it mean to become a maven, a storyteller, a thinker. We're running late, and so I'm going to truncate things a little bit, and I'm going to make James, I see you always a little upset, but here's what I'm going to do, my friend. No need. I'm going to show you what we're doing and what we're not doing, because I know you all want to go to lunch. So this is a pledge, which we were going to reenact today digitally by asking you to whip out your phones and send in a pledge to this number, just to show that the digital can be as holy as anything else.
Amen.
But in the interest of time, I'm going to do the following. I want to ask you to consider the fact that us being here today is due to your generosity. Many of you paid to be here, and to the generosity of many, including in this room, who understand that to build a community from scratch takes year-long thriving and sustainability. And we are here on this first day of the new year, hoping that you will consider generously what it will be like to be here year-round, for us to empower children and coming-of-age teens, those of us who are dealing with loss, those of us who are just showing up, to have this kind of environment year-round. There are pledge cards in the lobby. There's information here and on our website. Rosh Hashanah is a good time for being generous, philanthropic, invest in seeds of change. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say no more. I thank you on behalf of James, Michael Dorf, our chair of the board sitting in the back, who's probably going to give me an earful for not doing the whole pledge. So don't make me look bad, please. Thank you for your generosity.
A guilt offering.
This day, all days, let's grow together. We're going to end with Avinu Malkeinu, with a Mornis Kaddish, and with a prayer for peace. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for being present. Avinu Malkeinu is the prayer, the pulling all the stops for really asking all the help we can get to live this year with more joy and intention. Help, justice, fill in the rest. Please rise. clicker go? Oh, no.
Did you put it in the ark?
Oh, no. Yep. Last night we stood here and remembered that there are those who were with us last year who are not here today. So I'm inviting you, if you were not with us yesterday, to do the same and to bring to mind, bring to heart all those who were missing today, the empty chairs in our homes, the empty holes in our heart of loved ones who we remember on this day. And think of all those for whom nobody is saying Kaddish, nameless victims of horrific violence all over the world. This is a prayer for peace and for hope and for mending our hearts. For all those of us in mourning here and on screen, we stand with you. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך רעותה וימליך מלכותה, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי תקודשה. לעילה לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעולמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. The Shimon Peres funeral on Friday, his children recited the Mornis Kaddish and added the words at the end, not just praying for the sake of Israel, but for the sake of all humans. And all those who were there who are used to the old traditional Orthodox, only us prayer had a, oh, really? We're praying for all people? And I watched and I thought, oh, old news. But we're glad that this message of everybody-friendly, universal inclusivity, praying with and for all, is seeping into all areas of our lives. As we end this morning, a glimpse into what's coming next. We're going to be gathering in just a few moments. It's 1 o'clock now, so 15 minutes. Just crossing over the bridge to the river, and there are plenty of challahs out there for us to take our breadcrumbs, standing for all that which you want to get rid of, and throw them joyfully into the river. Please join us if you can do that before going off to lunch. We're going to be meeting here on Yom Kippur next week. All the information is in your booklets and online. Our conversation after Kol Nidrei is this one, Re-Race, an honest Yom Kippur conversation about racism in our private and public lives, in our community, in America today. We thought this is a conversation that on the Day of Atonement, a Jewish community should have. We'll be meeting the following day, all day for Yom Kippur, including our interfaith prayer for peace. I'll be leading a Zen and Zohar session in the afternoon with our friend, brother Chodo. And then we're going to break the fast right here with a special catering deal in a beautiful room overlooking the river. Please join us. Information is on the website. And we're ending with a blessing, the oldest one we got. This is a great moment for those of us still here to see who's standing with you, your child, your partner, your friend, your neighbor, a stranger. Hands are encouraged at this moment. Remember the intention that I invited you to make all those hours ago. What intention did you make today? What are we walking out with? In the very least, let's remember the gift of the storytelling we heard today, the many hymns and moments of silence and breaths. May we walk out there re-loving, dedicating ourselves to be agents of change and healing and peace, and be part of the solution and less part of the problem. May this be a year of peace. And I encourage you, if you're standing alone and if you want to hold someone else's hand, let's come from less fear and more love, and I'm going to hold your hand. And if you want to stand alone, that's fine too.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך, יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונקה, יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך וישם לך שלום, 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 וישם לך
Thank you all for being here. Thank you, beautiful musicians, storytellers. Thank you, all the hands on deck, Vance and our production team. Thank you, folks here at BMCC. Join us for wine and challah outside. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו רוח העולם בורא פרי הגפן. The rest is outside.